The controversy has been raised, I think, unnecessarily by saying that president is supreme or the parliament is supreme. That is not the situation. Whether it is the president or it is the parliament, judiciary, executive, each of these institution is created or originated from the constitution itself. And the constitution does not give supremacy to any one of them. Everyone has his own allotted sphere of work. And therefore, as long as an institution remains within the bounds of the constitution, even if its decision or action is unpleasant to me, I must accept it readily as correct. The statement is obviously correct. The controversy has been raised, I think, unnecessarily by saying that president is supreme or the parliament is supreme. That is not the situation. Whether it is the president or it is the parliament, judiciary, executive, each one of these institutions are uh, each of this institution is created or originated from the constitution itself. And the constitution does not give supremacy to any one of them. Everyone has his own allotted sphere of work. And therefore, as long as an institution remains within the bounds of the constitution, even if its decision or action is unpleasant to me, I must accept it readily as correct. In the sense that parliament is supreme is not the correct position of law, or the president cannot be directed by the Supreme Court to do something or to undo something which has been done is also not correct. Promulgation of the president rule is the action of the government, rather of the central government. But to test whether it is correct or not is for the judiciary at the level of the High Court or at the level of the Supreme Court. Both can do it. And they have interfered earlier, and the decision has been upheld. And it does not happen only when the order is in favor of the central government or parliament, but when it is even in favor of the opposition. If you remember S.R. Bomai's case, that was a case where I think 7 or 9 governments, state governments had been dismissed by the Congress government when they came to power after the collapse of the Janata Party rule. When the parliament makes a law, it's law so made can be judicially reviewed. That means what has been done is reviewed by the Supreme Court or the High Court. One cannot say that High Court is inferior to Parliament or Supreme Court is inferior to Parliament, because it is the duty assigned to them by the Constitution itself. If you remember, the oath of the office of the judge of the High Court or of the Supreme Court does not really differ. It is to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. How do you preserve it? You preserve it by obviously upholding or ensuring that the essential features or basic structure that we call of the Constitution is not infringed, is not broken by any manner. That can be done by the judiciary. Similarly, when an action has been taken by the president, is it in consonance with law or it is in breach of law? Who will decide? Not obviously the president, not obviously the parliament. It is the judiciary which has to decide. So that is how I feel that controversy was uncalled for. And more so the controversy on the use of Article 142 by the Supreme Court. True, it is that 142 has to be very sparingly used or taken resort to. But unfortunately, in the case of the vice president who made the statement that Article 142 is like a nuclear missile which the Supreme was shooting. I don't know in your show or not, I have said that as far as Babri Masjid case is concerned, clearly the Supreme Court came to the view that a temple was demolished and thereupon a mosque was built. These no evidence. The archaeological evidence or the purport to have found the remnants of a temple under the Babri Masjid Mosque is also not correct. The Supreme Court also deprecated the action of suddenly appearance of the Ram Lalla. They said it has been surreptitiously kept. So that also is not. Then the Supreme Court also took the view that the demolition of the Babri Masjid in the name of Karsevak or by the Karsevak was also wrong. In fact, they said it's a heinous crime. So when all these things were there, obviously decision would not have gone in favor of the temple. But it has been given. Supreme Court says that we are of the view that it has to be permanently solved. Okay. For the purpose of finding the permanent solution to the controversy which had been existing, the Supreme Court took resort to 142 and declared that this is not declared. They said this place is being given to temple. And because there are two parties and government was not a party, it was obviously a civil suit is between two individuals, two parties. The Supreme Court said ask the government to give 5 acres of land or whatever is the measurement of the land which government said. And both sides accepted it. So the fact of the matter remains that the Babri Masjid decision is to the benefit of the temple by taking resort to Article 142. Had Article 142 not been resorted to or not been taken help of, Supreme Court would not have decided the issue in favor of the temple. That time our president was very happy. But when it came to the direction of given to the president or the governor, then he feels restless. We have to understand that everybody has to respect the constitution, and that is called constitutional morality. So constitutional morality is that you can't frustrate. Supposing there is a president who does not listen to the government, government gives or the parliament gives one after the another the legislation and the president, and the government keeps it or the president keeps it pending. So the whole purpose of having a governance, which means everyday work will come to a standstill, that is not desirable. Can the Supreme Court not interfere in such a situation? And the Supreme Court says no, governor cannot be directed. Why can't the president cannot be directed? Why? If the president is at the wrong and his action is judicially not sustainable when reviewed, then in that event his action can be interfered with and a mandamus can be issued even to the president what to do and what not to do. So that was a controversy I feel was uncalled for. And Justice Gogoi is absolutely correct in saying that it is the constitution which is supreme.